start, bench, or cut these anime characters. If you guys don't know, we are going to be ranking these anime trios on their storylines as well as how powerful they are. If you guys want more of the series, make sure to join the Discord in the description below. Let's get right into it. For this video, we're just going to be talking about the anime for now, just because there are some series I know about the manga stuff, but not all three of them, so I would rather hold on to the anime just for now. First up, we got the My Hero Academia trio. We got Todoroki, Deku, and Bakugo. First thing, let's start off with the story. Story-wise, I'm going to be starting Todoroki. Now, I know a lot of people may have questions. They may be asking, why am I not starting Deku? Well, if we look at Shoto Todoroki's backstory, everything makes sense on why he is the way he is. Endeavor is one of the worst fathers in anime history. He was trying to make his family just to create people to try to surpass All Might. Child neglection was at an all-time high when it came to Endeavor. He did not care what was going on, even how he met his wife, Rei. That was an arranged marriage just so Endeavor could have multiple chances at making the perfect quirk to surpass an All Might. The Todoroki family clearly suffered from this, and we got to see why, because Toya, who happens to be Shoto's older brother, turned into the villain Dabi, who happens to have stronger flames than Endeavor. But now you're seeing Shoto literally trying to live up to the hype of Endeavor, accept the flames even though he did not want to do it initially, just so he can have the chance at stopping his brother Dabi. It's wild what Todoroki is dealing with, so he definitely has to start story-wise, which leaves Deku and Bakugo, and I'm gonna be having Deku coming off the bench, which means Bakugo is getting cut. Yes, I'm cutting Bakugo. Even if you want to make the case that because his mom used to yell a lot, then that kind of trickled down to Bakugo, that's still not enough. The reasons why Bakugo was bullying Deku never really sat right with me, and it took Bakugo around 6 seasons for him to come clean to Deku and apologize to him. There was one time I felt bad for Bakugo, and that is when he realized that All Might passed down his power to Deku instead of him. But to find out later that Bakugo always looked up to Deku and made fun of Deku just to make himself feel superior, cut him. Get him out of here. That's shot. Deku's getting benched for one sole reason. He's finally assuming the role that I've wanted him to assume for the longest time. If you're talking about a backstory, Deku was clearly quirkless and he was made fun of for it, but Bakugo did it for a crappy reason, so we're just going to throw that away. Once All Might gave you the one for all quirk and he pointed at you and said, now it's your turn, that is when I expected Deku to rise up to the occasion, but he did not do it just yet. Oddly enough, Deku rose up to the occasion when All for One said, now it's your turn. That to me was kind of odd, because when All Might was giving him the reins, Deku was playing around, but now that All for One is back out on the streets, Deku is now taking things to a higher tier. He understands the severity of the situation. He understands what's going on. I thought All Might's injury should have been enough to inspire Deku to really do what he's doing right now in season 6, but it's okay, we'll take it. That's not enough for me to cut him, but that's enough for me to bench him. Now we have to reel this back in because we're going to be talking about power scaling here. Let's get the obvious one out of the way. We are clearly starting Deku. Deku is on such an elite level now that the rest of class 1A are literally looking like fodder compared to him. It is unbelievable. The moment Deku was able to tap into the other quirks of the other vestiges, it was literally a done deal. Deku has mastered using the Black Whip. He can access higher percentage of full counting. He's able to use gear shift. He can mask his presence with a smoke screen. I mean, he has so many different options. He's so versatile as a fighter. He's elite now. There's no doubt about it. It literally took all of class 1A just to catch him. We haven't seen such destruction of the class since Mirio was there. Which leaves Shoto, Todoroki, and Bakugo. You know, this is where it gets tough, because I know there's a lot of Bakugo fans out there that are just gonna rush to this and say Bakugo, and I do think Bakugo has a great handle on his quirk. But now that Todoroki has also accepted his flames, not only was he able to burn and hold off a Tetsu who literally has a metal quirk, but he was able to compete against his brother Dabi, who has stronger flames than Endeavor. I'm gonna bench Bakugo and cut Todoroki for now. I believe that's a correct answer right now, because if you're looking from a speed perspective, Bakugo clearly outclasses Todoroki. Now we do know Todoroki has some techniques where he's able to combine the heat and the ice to create pressure so he can move fast, but Bakugo is able to do it more efficiently. If we're looking at Bakugo using his explosions to literally change his direction mid-air multiple times, it's unbelievable. And then you could factor in that he can keep up long range because he has access to AP shots. I'm not saying Todoroki wouldn't be able to hang with Bakugo, but I just think the speed would create some problems for Todoroki, because close range Todoroki is still not top tier. Next up, we have the Dragon Ball trio. We have Goku, Broly, and Vegeta. Let's do it, man. Story wise, you know who I'm starting. Vegeta. Vegeta is clearly the only correct answer. Now, when you're talking about a deuteragonist, a side character to Goku, Vegeta is horrible, and I've said this on multiple occasions. There's a lot of things that Vegeta has done throughout the Dragon Ball series that have caused problems for the Z fighters, but as a written character and understanding why Vegeta is the way he is, he's amazing because he's relatable in some aspects. Vegeta was promised to be the next king of all Saiyans after his father. I mean, from a young age, they were literally ingraining in his head that he is a powerful Saiyan and he's going to take over and he's next up. So obviously Vegeta grew up being ostentatious. He was braggadocious. He thought that he was that guy. And then he found out that there are some quote unquote lower class Saiyans that have surpassed him in strength. One being Kakarot, and that did damage to his psyche. So much damage that Vegeta, during the Majin Buu saga, allowed Babidi to turn him into Majin Vegeta, so he can reawaken the combative spirit, the Saiyan pride, the anger within his heart, so he would have the courage to challenge Goku once again. And you're seeing Vegeta struggle with his role as Goku's rival throughout the series of Dragon Ball. The fact that he has to watch Goku surpass him multiple times. There was even a moment where Goku passed, and Vegeta thought he had no reason left to fight because even his son Gohan was surpassing him. Such a deeply written character, you have to start Vegeta story-wise. Now, who is coming off the bench? It's Goku, and I will gladly cut Broly. Now, Broly is not a horribly written character, but there's still a lot more we need to unpack with this story because he literally was just known as a strong Saiyan born with an extremely high power level at an early age. That's the gist of his story. When you're talking about Goku, for instance, Goku literally changed the history for Saiyans. He was the first Saiyan who defeated Frieza, the same Frieza that blew up planet Vegeta. He changed relationships between protagonists and antagonists, and then you can even look towards the Tournament of Power. That was Goku's doing. He literally is a character that just wants to surpass his limits constantly, and he loves the thrill of fighting, and having Vegeta as a rival is helping push him that way. But now you can even throw Broly into the mix because now Broly is training with them as well. But now that the obvious answers are out the way, let's talk about power scaling. Now, respectfully, I'm gonna be cutting Vegeta. Although Super Saiyan Blue Evolution was an amazing form that was able to contend with Jiren at some points throughout the Tournament of Power, I don't believe that form would contend with Goku right now. Now, I have seen a little bit of Vegeta's Ultra Ego form in the manga, but I'm not sure if that's really gonna make it over Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku for me. Still, Vegeta is really right there. He really has moved up. He boxed against a God of Destruction in Toppo and literally was holding his own. But when it came to a 1v1 with Broly, he was clearly outmatched. That aside, we are left with Goku and Broly left. Who are we starting and who are we putting on the bench? This is tough. I'm not too sure about this one, to be honest with you. Broly is an absolute beast. We got to see him fight Goku and Vegeta at the same time. They literally had to fuse and go into Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta form just so they can contend. But there is one thing that's making me hold off on giving Broly the automatic W, and that is Goku's Mastered Ultra Instinct transformation. Goku in Master Ultra Instinct was able to contend with Jiren and actually put pressure on Jiren, the same Jiren who dominated the rest of the Tournament of Power and at points was beating Jiren. Now, many of you guys may be asking, well, what does this have to do with Broly? In the past, I've had many debates talking about Jiren versus Broly. And the fact of the matter is, the way I see Broly right now, presently constructed Broly, I have Jiren over him. I believe Broly's ceiling is higher than Goku's, but where he is right now, I don't know if he can actually surpass a Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku right now. Now, does this mean that I believe Goku's Mastered Ultra Instinct form is over a Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta form? Listen, speed-wise, Master Ultra Instinct is just different. I know we got to see Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta shatter reality, so there's obviously some differences there, but if Goku went into Master Ultra Instinct instead of Super Saiyan Blue while fighting Broly, would that change the tide? I believe so. I'm going to be starting Goku, and then I'm going to have Broly coming off the bench just for that reason. If you're one of the people out there that believes Broly is stronger than Jiren, then clearly you're going to have Broly starting and Goku coming off the bench. Next up, let's talk some Black Clover. We have Noelle, Asta, and Yuno. I love this one. Story-wise, you already know what I have to do. I'm cutting Yuno. I know a lot of people are shocked at this, but I stand firm in the reasons why I will cut Yuno. We understand that Yuno was an orphan alongside an Asta, but all his life he was hyped up to be better than Asta. Everybody surrounding him always gave him the praise over Asta, even down to the moment he received his 4-leaf grimoire. Yuno is a beast of a fighter, and he's not a bad guy. But the issues with his personality were clearly exposed once the Dark Triad pulled up. I'm talking about when Zenon pulled up on the Golden Dawn. Now, I know people may be saying, Rob, that's not fair. Yuno was the last man standing, all of these things. Yes, but Longreese ended up leaving. The Golden Dawn was filled with people who thought they were better than everybody else. And Yuno somehow does fall into that camp. Now, unlike the rest of the world, he still had a lot of love and respect for Asta. But currently, it is clear who is winning that race. And I think that Yuno's personality is the reason why he's losing. This leaves Asta and Noelle. And personally, I'm starting Noelle and I'm going to have Asta coming off the bench. Noelle is clearly the best written character of these three. Looked down upon by your entire family. Witnessing your older brother surpass you in strength and then talk down on you as if you don't understand the grave, dire situation you are in after your mother passed away. Noelle internalized all of that, remixed it, and then flipped it back on them. Because now Noelle is here. Noelle is elite. If you're looking at the Black Bulls in Black Clover right now, aside from Yami, take Yami out of the equation, Noelle might be top 3. She was able to actually access the Valkyrie armor that is very similar to that of her mother's, who, oh, by the way, was a beast. And the only reason she passed away is because she lost to Megicula, who happens to be one of the strongest devils in the Black Clover universe. Yes, this is the same Megicula who has powered up Ivanica, who Noelle had to fight, one of the Dark Triad's best members. Asta, on the other hand, is just a character that wants to reach the top and become the Wizard King. He's in competition with his rival Yuno, which we get is a great rivalry. They have a great friendship and brotherhood. But the main thing Asta has to worry about is that the Clover Kingdom wasn't willing to accept him because he has access to demon magic. But aside from Damnatio hating from the sidelines, Asta really has to just push himself. That's his main thing. He's competing with himself, if we're gonna be honest, because right now Yuno is elite, but he's not keeping up with what Asta's doing. Still, I believe his determination and the fact that he came from literally being looked down upon, having no access to any normal type magic, and then now everybody in the Clover Kingdom is calling Asta's name. They need him to save them because now they need arcane magic to fight against the devils. It's great to see Asta's ascension, so you have to give him 2 claps there. I just think that Noelle had a lot more to deal with on the beginning side of things, and that Noelle literally is flipping the script and surpassing everything that her family was throwing at her. Asta's family from back home always wanted him to win. It was just the people in the Clover Kingdom that were really hating on him. Now, if we tap into power scaling, we know what it is already. You have to start Asta. Asta fought against Dante with Yami. Asta got stronger post time skip. He had a conversation with Nag, who is the vice captain of the Black Bulls, got better at controlling his arcane abilities because he had a conversation with Libe, who is the devil that is gifting Asta the powers in the first place. Asta can fly with demon mana skin. He has access to multiple different swords, some that can literally absorb other mana and reflect it back. To be honest with you, defensively and offensively, Asta is truly gifted. The only thing Asta truly has to worry about is that his swordsmanship is not really there. But aside from that, his speed is top tier. His arcane techniques are getting better. He was able to literally scar Dante and then defeat Dante when he was able to team up with Yami. Those are some top tier feats. With that being said, we have to bench Yuno, and that obviously means we're going to be cutting Noelle. Even though Noelle is being cut, being mentioned in this conversation with Asta and Yuno is an incredible achievement because Noelle literally was looked down upon by her family. Now you're talking about Noelle competing with Ivanica. Oh, by the way, this Ivanica has access to blood magic, and she can also inflict curses upon her opponents. Noelle is boxing against all of this, and who does she have backing her up? And Mimosa, who's a great healer, but as a fighter, are we really worried about Mimosa really inflicting great damage on Ivanica? Obviously not. Yuno, on the other hand, has been a beast from day one. We've seen him compete with a captain earlier on in the series in real, Bormortier, and he defeated him. Then you're seeing Yuno get better techniques with his wind spirit magic, and he was able to actually inflict damage upon a Zagrid. But when Zenon pulled up, that was the worst I've ever seen Yuno. And I'm not not saying Asta would not lose to Zenon, because he would in that scenario as well. But would it end up looking that bad? Not to me. And you can get into conversations about Dante versus Zenon, who scales higher, but it was absolute destruction of the Golden Dawn. It looked bad. Still, I don't believe Yuno is far off from Asta, but he's definitely underneath him right now. Now, obviously, if we tap into the manga, these choices are going to be flipping around all over the place, but you guys let me know down in the comment section below which anime characters are you start, bench, or cutting for each of these series. And if you guys like this series and want to see more, let me know down in the comment section below which trios you want to see next. And with that, I'll see you guys next time, man. Peace.